The world is going insane. Some believe that the zombie apocalypse is coming. Some have been working very hard on their personal development and see the total opposite happening around them. So will we be safe? Will hell break loose? And what can we do about it? These are a few of the questions that I will answer in my video. My name is Lotfi Murad, and I encourage you to relax in your chair and listen to what I have to share. Like, subscribe, and share. Hi, this is a new Q&A video. Today is April 18th, the year is 2021, and I got a question from a patron of mine who's worried about what's going on in the world with the vaccine, with the consequences of vaccine, with the awakening, and how all this is connected. And it's a question I got a few weeks back, and I finally have the time to peacefully sit down and just share my view on things. I do not have the absolute truth, as far as I know. Truth is relative to perspectives, to personal experience, to reference points. So I'm simply going to share a view that I have formed. It's formed because I've been influenced, of course, by what I feel, what I've been hearing from different people around the globe, and what has been resonating with me. So first of all, when I'm out of balance, I can get triggered. And that's very normal. That's what happens to us. And then we tend to get into fear and see the world as one total mess. Humanity as the worst species on this planet, probably in the whole galaxy. Especially when you watch the news or see an article about how thousands of men have had their gender cut off and it's being shipped to another country for sale, being sold for up to 160,000 per lingam. That twisted my whole stomach, belly, my bowels, everything was like, ugh, when I read that. And then I'm like, well, maybe we need a meteorite to just come hit us and just clean up this big mess. Because there's no hope for humanity. If we can do this in, 2021, then on the other hand, there are a lot of wonderful things happening. Yesterday, for example, I had a talk with 3 other men, and we talked about life, about what men and women are going through. We talked for 2 hours. It was amazing. 3 men stepping into their vulnerability. I'm not talking about sissies. I'm talking about 3 real men who stepped. When I say vulnerability, it means they were open about what they feel, how they see the world, what they've experienced, what this has done with them, and how they're dealing with it. And I saw the divine masculine and the divine feminine in each and every one of us. And that gives me hope. We often hear that women should take charge and then the world will be a better place. Well, if it's women who are completely in their masculine just to dominate, then there will be not much change. Yeah, probably. Women will take over the jobs of men in power, and aside from that, nothing will change. What we need is that we all integrate our divine masculine and our divine feminine and use those energies in the natural way. And you can read more in detail about this online. Just Google divine masculine, Google divine feminine, and you'll find the definition that resonates with you, and you'll understand it. It took me a while to understand what divine feminine meant. It took me even longer to understand what divine masculine meant. Because it's not something we find in the media, it's not something we learn at school, it's generally not something we learn at home. And when I look around me, I see and I keep meeting beautiful people who are awake or who are on the path of awakening, people who, even if they're not spiritual, they generally stand in their integrity, they generally want to make a difference, they want to contribute, they're not looking at how can I take as much as possible, but they do give and share and often pay from their own pocket even just to get things going. And it's not about money, it's about intention, it's about action. And I see a lot of that. Also people who do not have money. And I've talked about this before, that there is a lot that we can do even if we don't have money. I've had periods where I had no money, yet I could still help others simply through the things I'm doing. Maybe it is transporting food from the food bank to poor people. Maybe it is moving all the stuff around. Maybe it is using specific skills to contribute. Like an NGO I'm supporting, the web designer is offering his services for free. He loves doing it and he does the website for free. He could be paid, but he chooses to make that his contribution. A friend of mine is good at organizing, so she's taking the organizational part and dealing with that. I mean, there are many things we can do. Sometimes it's just sharing our story, like what I'm doing. I'm sharing my experiences, my stories, and my insights. That's how, or not just how, but that's one of the ways I inspire people, I encourage people, just like we did yesterday in that talk I mentioned. When one of us would be sharing an issue he's dealing with, the others would share their experiences and their perspectives on things. And I saw the vibration collectively rising. I regularly do have these kind of talks with my friends, mainly women. because women generally tend to speak more easily about the feelings. And I've been really lucky having some wonderful friends around me. And what we do is support each other. But then the group of people around me is expanding. And people have been talking about the 144,000 or whatever. I believe already way past that. That number that was a decade ago or so. And some people love to say, I'm part of that and I'm part of that, and yeah, that's the spiritual ego talking, or just the ego. I see a lot of people doing a lot of good things. For example, I've been following a lot of courses and they all happen to be free. And this is from people who normally charge a lot. Like one of the courses, 6-week course, would normally cost $4,000. Okay, that's including lunch and stuff like that, and the stay. But the guy decided to take all the recordings from the last time that he did it, put it online, have people registered, and even spend 2 hours a week in a call with 800 people answering questions, listening to feedback, and doing that for free. And there's a whole team of volunteers who are helping out and who are also being team leaders for smaller groups, because if you have 1,000 people doing the course, there's a lot of practicing that needs to be done. So there are people who organize once per week a group call where we practice, where we ask questions, where we share, but mainly practicing what we've learned from the videos. And there are also people who organize at random moments, other Zoom calls where people can do extra practice. And this is all done for free, simply because we want to support each other. So even the participants, we are supporting other participants by practicing, by giving feedback, by doing the exercise together. So this is just 1,000 people, and it's actually the second time during COVID that the guy does this. There's already 2,000 people who are working on themselves. That's just one course. That's why I said the 144,000, because I'm also following other people who do similar things. I have 2 3-day courses this week, free, and there are hundreds and hundreds of people who are joining in. And there's also people, women in this case, 2 women, who are both giving their time, sharing their experience, sharing their wisdom, answering questions. And of course, many of those participants are also interacting. That's actually how I met many interesting people. People are also making a difference. And I can share this. From one of the courses, through one of the courses, I met somebody who is also a coach, who organized a free webinar, which was actually more like a very interactive workshop. And I invited 2 of my friends. One of them ended up getting a lot of additional value through the free one-on-one that was also being offered for those who joined the mastermind. And so you can see that I'm doing a training, I meet somebody, I I introduce that somebody to a friend of mine who then benefits also a lot from that. And this is not just me doing this, it's not just me experiencing this. This is happening around the globe. So there is a lot of coherence, there is a lot of teamwork, a lot of support amongst humans who want to grow personally, but not on their own, want to grow collectively. So, are people getting harmed by taking a so-called vaccine? Yes. But people also getting harmed when they take any kind of medication. Just read all the possible side effects. And when I say possible, they know that this has been happening, that's why they write it down, and people are getting these side effects. When I look at my father, he needs some medication for one thing and he needs 2 extra medications for the side effects, to compensate for the side effects, and then another medication to compensate the side effects of one of the other medications. So in the end he's taking 8 pills or so. I mean, the guy is having breakfast before breakfast, and lunch before lunch, and dinner before dinner, just taking pills. But does this mean that we will stop waking up? Does this mean that we will stop evolving? No. Does this mean there will be no crazy stuff going on? No. There will be a lot of polarity. I mean, a lot. We already have it, but there will be a lot for the coming years, especially the coming months. Because when people wake up, they want to change something around them. And those around them who are not awoken yet, you're like, oh no, 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 stay, stay, stay. Don't be so stupid, don't be crazy. And so there will be friction. But that's normal, that's always. Look at the French Revolution. There was a lot of friction, a lot of bloodshed. But things changed. Was it perfect? No. Are we in a perfect world now? Actually, yes. Just depends how you look at it. The trick is to zoom out. When you zoom out, you see the bigger picture. And you see how there is motion. There's no stagnation anymore. There's motion. And that motion is necessary for the transformation. It's also caused by the transformation. So cause and effect are triggering each other, just like the chicken and the egg. There's a chicken, there's an egg, there's a new chicken, and there's a new egg, or multiple eggs and multiple chicken. And that's actually how it goes. So what can you do? Well, ground, meditate in whatever form, and you can find this on my website under tips and tools, relaxation. You can request to get access to all my meditations, guided meditations. You can read a lot about grounding, also under tips and tools, physical grounding, emotional grounding, energetical grounding. And when I say physical, I mean medical. Physical, like literally discharging the excess of electrons in your body, because, hey, we work on electricity. Just read a bit about how the nervous system works. Electricity. We are electrical beings. So a simple example is touching the ground, literally grounding for at least 30 seconds each day. preferably a few times. You can do that by touching a tree. You can do that by touching the soil, or sometimes even an electrical pole, like really a piece of metal that goes into the ground and holding it. Taking a deep breath, you can feel something changing in your body because you're discharging the excess. And if you do that, you also less often touch somebody like, ah! What do you think that is? That's excess of electrons in your body. So what else? So we had grounding, we had meditation, avoiding the news, avoiding the media in general. And you do not need to know what's going on in the world. No, that's just what you're being told. Because we've been told a lot of crap. Just like we've been told, what is a beautiful man, what is a beautiful woman? That's superficial crap. What's in here? That's important. So what else can you do? Surround yourself with people that feel good for you in here. And avoid the others. This means that you may have to let go of certain people from your life, temporarily or permanently. But this also means that you will create space for new people with whom you resonate to come in. If I look at the people I'm still in touch with from before my awakening, 10, 15, maybe 20, and those are people I don't speak to very regularly. I've let go of the hundreds of people I would stay in touch with on a regular basis. But now I have over 100 people that I'm in touch with regularly who are on a similar frequency. We do not agree on everything, but we are looking at the world from a similar perspective. And these people don't judge. These people understand what I'm saying, what I'm doing, what I would like to do, and we cooperate, we support each other. Sometimes we're just listening, sometimes we're doing things together. And this is what gets you through these interesting times. They're not horrible times, no, they're interesting times. There's a lot of purification happening, there's a lot of confrontation happening, because we need to let go of the lies that we told, the lies that we believe. Yes, we're being told a lot of lies, at school, at home, by our own parents often, because they were being told lies from their parents, who got it from their parents, and so on. Lies that had been spread by those ruling the world. Literally the rulers, the churches, the mosques, the synagogues, the politicians, the bosses, the slave runners, all those who wanted power. And it's still happening. And we're being ruled by fear. And we're still being ruled by fear. But we do not need to listen to that anymore. We have free choice, which sometimes means accepting certain consequences. But it's always a choice. Focus on the beautiful people on your path. Let them inspire you. And inspire them as well. Feel free to send me questions. If you want me to dive in deeper into certain aspects, and I cannot promise that I will have answers to everything, but I may direct you to other content or other people who do have those answers. That's how it works. You don't need to know everything yourself, as long as you know where to find it. And surround you with people who compliment you. Yes, those who give you compliments, but also compliment you, like help you with those things that you need help with, that you do not know enough about. That's building community. And I'm building a community of my own. For example, on Facebook and my intuitiv.me group. But I also have tiny communities, like my Monday evening call, or now from now on my Saturday evening call, or during this course, the 6-week course, the Monday afternoon call, where we practice things, and we already have been talking about continuing even after the course is finished. And there's another one, but now I forgot what it is. So there's a lot going on, as long as you're open to it, to come on your path. And yeah, there will still be things happening in the world that we do not like, but that's just part of the purification process. There's light, there's darkness, and there is the battle going on. As I've mentioned before, literally our whole galaxy moved in another part of space, and science has confirmed this, where the vibration is higher. The vibration is gradually raising, and it's a cycle. Earth has been already in this part of space before, just like we go around the sun, and the solar system is going around the Milky Way. The whole Milky Way is also going in circles. And yes, we're moving, but we're going through parts of space with different frequencies. And now we entered 2012 is when we crossed that line, and that we started to enter deeper and deeper into the higher frequency area. So enjoy the ride. Wish you a beautiful day, and hope to see you soon. In the description you can find my contact details if you have questions, if you need support. I do help with releasing trauma, sexual trauma, other kinds of trauma, overcoming blockages, and other things. Find it all on my website, intuitiv.me, just like what you see at the bottom of the screen. That's how it's spelled, intuitiv.me. Start doing something, or continue doing what you're already doing. Do it from here. See you soon.